The Senate Judiciary Committee will now vote to subpoena Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey. Don't be surprised if Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg is added to that list. And someone who knows all too well about what happens when you try to post this story and getting blocked from the Twitter account is Republican Congressman from Pennsylvania, Guy Reschenthaler. Guy, welcome to the program.
Grant, thanks for having me back on your show. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, guys. So yours was one of the first tweets that I saw yesterday when you tried to post this story. What immediately went through your head when you saw Twitter blocked it?
Well, I was outraged because they're trying to block me from sharing a story that was in a very credible newspaper, the New York Post. And what's even more shocking is the fact that the New York Post is held to a higher standard because the law deems them a publisher, meaning that they can be sued for libel and slander if they post something or publish something that is inaccurate or is reckless. Whereas the social tech giants, Twitter, for example, is treated under Section 230 as a platform. So they don't have the same liability. So you have a platform acting as a publisher while enjoying the immunity from lawsuits. And then you have a publisher publishing a story that then the platform refuses to put forward. It's completely inverse. So, Grant, I should also say this. I'm fairly confident that I have been throttled, meaning that Twitter is not sharing my tweets with my followers, and I've in essence been shadow banned. But it just goes to show you the level of censorship big tech is engaged in. So I think we have to do a few things.
I'll tell you what, Guy. Where Twitter got it backwards, okay? Because they're trying to stick it to President Trump. And you know what the number one trending term is now on Twitter? Crooked Joe Biden. I can't believe Twitter wanted that to happen, but it did, and that's a tribute to your followers, my followers, Newsmax viewers. I'll tell you that much, Guy.
Absolutely. This is going to backfire on big tech, and I can tell you why. It's because they have now got the ire of Republicans, and it's been Republicans and those with a libertarian bent that have said these are private companies. They should not be regulated. We should not break them up. But now Republicans like myself see just how dangerous these companies have become. They've engaged in censorship. They're acting much more like the CCP than they are acting like responsible American companies. So I think it's time to take away their Section 230 immunity, first and foremost. We should also look at regulating them as if they were under PUC regulation, treating them almost like a cable company. I also think it's time to go back to the days of Teddy Roosevelt, a Republican, and look at breaking them up. Google has a 90% market share on a search engine. Amazon almost, think about all the commerce online going through Amazon. Twitter, Facebook. Well, it's time to break up these monopolies. And the people that say, well, the free market will find a solution. All these little startup companies, their ultimate goal is not to compete with these 5 large companies. Their goal is for one of those big giants to buy them out and to sell out to the big companies. For that reason,
in many respects, Guy, in many respects, you could make the argument that is the free markets that are working there, that if these companies were to buy these smaller ones, and that's just the way the markets are working out. The problem is they're not playing by the rules. And so the only time I like regulation is when someone doesn't get a say in any of the rules. And that's what all of us find ourselves in the position of. That's when you need regulation. Something needs to be done to rein these companies in, to at the very least get them to follow the rules and not ignore them. Congressman, great having you on the program. I appreciate you coming on tonight.
Grant. I appreciate it. Thanks for all you do. Take care.
Oh, man, it's kind of you to say. Likewise.